Hi and welcome guys. Today I have a really special game I wanted to share with you. This game was played between Josef Emil Krejcik, who was playing with white pieces, and Konrad Krobot, who was playing with black pieces. This game was played in 1908 and this game features a truly amazing attack by white and one move that computer even couldn't find. Yes, even the computer couldn't find the best idea for white in that position, and after this move was played, situation is completely won for white. He stopped any kind of counter attacks by black and he simply wins the game with an incredible attack. If you like the video, please leave a comment and a like, as this will help a lot with the YouTube algorithm and it will help get this video recommended to more people. So without further ado, we will go straight into the game. The game started with e4, e5 for black, d4, and e takes on d4. Queen retakes this pawn and black plays knight c6. Right now white queen is attacked, so white decided to play queen e3. This is so-called center game. Game continued with g6 with the idea to fianchetto the black bishop. White played bishop d2, developing his piece, and black played bishop g7. The game continued with knight c3 for white, knight g to e7, a normal developing move, and white castled on queen side, black castled on king side, and f4 was played for white. f4 with the idea to take even more space with these pawns and slowly but surely create some sort of attack on the king's wing. Game continued with a6 for black, which is not the best idea, but black wants to strike b5 and it's a legit option for black in this position. Game continued with knight f3 for white, and black played f5. f5 with the idea to strike in the center, to open up an f-file and to develop his knight if the trade happens. Of course, this is not the best move for black. The best move was d5. So instead of playing f5, d5 was the best move. And right now you're threatening this fork on d4. And if the trade happens, the black would have a decent counterplay and developed pieces. So this was the best idea for black in this position. After f5, you leave this diagonal really weak, which white uses immediately, and he plays bishop c4 check. Black king goes on h8, and now white found another amazing move, which is knight g5. A really good move. Right now there is a royal fork threat on f7, and also there is a queen h3 and queen h7 checkmate threat. So right now black has to react on these all sorts of threats. So he plays firstly queen e8, and now playing knight f7 is not an option because black will simply trade his rook for two pieces and he will have a decent play. The game continued with e takes on f5 and rook takes on f5 for black, and g4 was played for white. He wants to remove this rook from this f5 field. Black rook returns to f8 and the game continues with queen h3. Right now there is a queen h7 checkmate, so that is the reason black played h6 in this position, and right now white continued with rook h to g1. Now this is a good move, a decent move. White still has the advantage. You cannot take this knight, of course, because your king is pinned. Now computer here recommends another line which is even better for white, and I will show it to you. So after h6, instead of going rook h to g1, computer recommends knight d5. Right now you have to take this knight, bishop takes on d5, and d6 was pretty much the only move for black in this position. The game would continue with rook d to e1, attacking this black queen. After rook d to e1, the only good move for black was queen d7. Queen d8 was not an option because we have a knight f7 check, and we will take their rook. They will be forced to take because we will take the black queen. So the game will continue with rook e6, taking more space and taking advantage of bad position of black. Rook f6 offering trade. After rook takes on f6, you cannot take immediately with the bishop because we have an queen takes on h6 check, and after queen goes on h7 we have a queen h7 checkmate. So that is the reason after rook takes on f6, queen has to take this pawn first. Then the game would continue with queen c3, putting even more pressure on this weak king. Again, he cannot take this rook because it will be a checkmate. The game would continue with h takes on g5, and right now we have a rook f8 check, king goes on h7, bishop g8 check, king goes on h8, bishop e6 check, attacking this queen and giving a discovered check, king goes on h7, rook f7 threat, creating a checkmate threat on g7 field, knight e5 to block this threat, rook takes on g7 check, king takes on g7, bishop takes on g4, and bishop takes on g4 with a huge material advantage for white and a clearly won game. So this was the variation I wanted to show you. Of course this wasn't played. Rook h to g1 was played. After this move, black played b5, which is a decent move. The idea is to remove this white squared bishop from this dangerous diagonal, and right now we are already in a critical part of the game because in this position white sacrificed his knight. knight takes on b5, and after a takes on b5, white played bishop c3. This was the main idea behind knight takes on b5, to open up this dangerous diagonal for black, and right now this pawn is hanging with a clear checkmate threat. So that is the reason in game h5 was played. So instead of playing h5, maybe black could have played bishop takes on c3. Then the game would ended with queen h6 checkmate. If after bishop c3 black decided to take our white squared bishop, then the game would continue with queen takes on h6 check. You cannot take this queen because this bishop is pinned, and after king goes on g8, queen takes on g7 is a checkmate. So serious threats against black in this position. That is the reason why h5 was played. And right now we're in another critical part of the game. In this position, white found a move that even computer couldn't find. When analyzing this game, computer was completely clueless about this move, and that move is rook to d6. Right now the idea behind this move is to stop d5 from going here, and with this move the black could stop white's attack. After rook d6, cd6 was played for black, but I wanted to show you another variation. For example, if we don't want to take this white rook and we play something like b takes on c4, then the game would continue with g takes on h5, g takes on h5, and rook h6 check. You cannot take this rook because this bishop is pinned. The king would be forced to go on g8. The game would continue with rook takes on h5, and right now there is a rook h8 check and then queen h8 checkmate. So that is the reason black played rook f6, rook h8 check, bishop takes on h8, queen h7 check, king f8, knight e6 check. Black is forced to take this knight, queen takes on h8 check, king f7, and queen takes on f6 is a checkmate. So this is the line, and this is the reason why black played c on d6, although this is losing as well, and I will show you why. So after c takes on d6, the game continued with g takes on h5, g takes on h5, and bishop takes on g7 check. Right now the king is forced to take this dark squared bishop, and the game continued with knight f7 check. This is a discovered check from this rook on g1. In this position, black decided to stop this threat by playing knight g6. And we're in another critical part of the game, because in this position, white decided to sacrifice his another rook. So white plays rook takes on g6 check. The king is forced to take this rook, and f5 was played for white. Of course, white had another option of winning here, and I will show you. So after king takes on g6, there was a queen g3 check, and after king goes on f5, knight d6 check, king f6, and queen g5 is a checkmate. After queen g3 there is another line, king might go on h7, then the game would continue with bishop d3 check, and there is no other way you can protect the checkmate, but you have to play queen e4, and bishop takes on e4 is a checkmate. After f5, black could have played something like immediately going on h7, then the game would continue with queen takes on h5 check, king g8, and queen g6 is checkmate. If after f5 check, black king decides to go on g7, again we continue with queen g3 check, and if the king goes on f6, then we have a queen g5 checkmate, and if the king goes on h7, we have a queen g6 checkmate. So that is the reason the game continued with after f5, king went on f6, the game continued with queen h4 check, black king is forced to take this pawn, queen g5 check, king e4, knight takes on d6 check, king d4, and what follows is a c3, a beautiful checkmate by white. So as you saw, a beautiful attack and a beautiful checkmate by white. And this was all for today's game. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment, like and subscribe. As I told you, this helps a lot with the YouTube algorithm and helps this video get recommended to more people. If you wish to donate to the channel, you can do that from the link in the description. Thank you so much for all of your support. I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and see you with another video. Bye bye.